Hey guys, Kom here with Studio Sweat On Demand, here with the lovely Luana.
Yes.
Some of you guys might have taken her class. We have one Luana class. That's it.
What?
Yeah, just it. I think so. Maybe more coming. We need to add more. I think so. Well, we have been asked many times, what is foam rolling? Why do people do this? Why is this a trend? And so I was waiting for the perfect time to bring in someone who was really well versed when it came to foam rolling, and Luana is. And so thank you for being with us today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
You bet. What is foam rolling?
So, foam rolling, it first started out with these guys right here, your standard foam roller. So it's really meant to break up the fascia surrounding your muscle.
What's fascia?
So fascia before.
I'm going to play stupid.
Yes,
okay.
no. I'm going to play smart.
Yeah, and you're going to play smart, and I'm going to play stupid.
So fascia
That's our roles
before,
today.
no, yeah. Studies showed before, they thought that fascia was just kind of like a pantyhose for your muscles. It didn't really do much. They thought it was just an outer layer, kind of like a skin holding your muscles together.
Okay.
But, doctors being doctors, they wanted to go deeper, and so exercise scientists actually put internal cameras between the fascia and the muscle on athletes, and they have them do certain movement patterns. And they saw even sometimes just the thought of doing the movement the fascia created hydration to the muscles. So now they found and studies show that the fascia actually is kind of like a heat conductor for your muscle.
Wow.
It also helps generate the hyaluronic acid, which we all know is really important to warm up your muscles and prevent injuries.
Okay, so great for preventing injury, okay? Mm-hmm. All right, so let's talk about who should foam roll. Why would someone want to do this?
Everyone should foam roll. Everyone should.
It's a simple answer.
Yeah. Well, especially those, even if you don't work out, it's a great way to stay flexible. If you have aches and pains, foam rolling for even just 5 to 10 minutes, 60 to 90 seconds on each area.
And we'll get to the how.
Yeah.
We're going to get there. Okay.
It's really good to keep your muscles pliable and to keep them flexible.
So is it more important for people that are less flexible or more flexible to foam roll?
Yeah. So here, we talked about this earlier. So, it really isn't more important over the other, but some people who are less flexible, the foam roller is a great alternative to if you can't, touch your toes.
Okay.
If you can't do the stretches that everyone's doing in class.
Okay. Guys especially, right?
Yes, guys especially. Well, they're infamous for not wanting to stretch. Right. So the foam roller is kind of like the manly way of getting stretching.
It's man stretching.
Right.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Very cool. Very cool. So flexible people out there, that doesn't mean you should foam roll, but it's even more important and a great tool for those that are less flexible. Okay, when should you foam roll? Is this something that you should be doing before your workout, after your workout, during your workout? Like, when's the ideal time to roll it out?
In the trigger point training that I took, they recommend before and after a workout, and there's a couple reasons why. Before the workout, if you don't get a sufficient warm-up, this is a great way because obviously you're breaking up the fascia, you're creating hydration to your muscles.
So you're heating them and you're hydrating them, them being the muscles.
Mm-hmm. And especially, even if you're warming up like on the bike for a few minutes, yes, you're warming up the muscles, but if there are certain areas where your fascia may not be conducting hydration because there might be an injury there, foam rolling will break that up, where if you're just sitting on a bike or running, it might not do that.
Yes. You'll see a lot of good trainers out there tell their personal training clients, go roll it out while they're working with, while they're finishing up with another client. They'll be like, go roll it out over hop on the treadmill nowadays.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Really interesting.
It's true. Because it's right away impact on the treadmill or something else, where this is less evasive. It's a great way. And also pulling down, like we talked about this earlier here at Studio Sweat, you want to get that good hour in, and we're guilty of 5-minute stretch, okay, you're done.
Yeah.
Hop in the car, and then you lose flexibility in your muscles that way. So you want to make sure if you don't get a good stretch in after at least within that hour window, I recommend within 30 minutes if you can get home and hop on that foam roller. loosen up, and then you'll recover much faster.
Yeah, yeah, and she's right. So we want to give you your money's worth, and so we go to the very last second of our classes, right? And then we save like 2 minutes to stretch at the end. So she's suggesting, well, maybe be more proactive about doing foam rolling before your workout then, so that way you make sure at least that you've done it. Okay?
Right.
All right, now let's get to the meat of it. Let's first of all talk about the difference between a couple of types of foam rollers, and then we'll actually show you guys how to use them. Okay? Well, we meaning Luana.
Right.
So this is more of a traditional foam roller. You'll see these in all shapes, sizes, and colors. So this is classified more as a soft foam roller, right?
Right.
And one of the things that what's that?
Beginner.
It's a beginner phone. It's the one I use. And I do have a more solid one at home, but it's still kind of shaped like this. So this is known more as a soft foam roller. These do start to soften up even more the more that they are used. So keep that in mind. You should be replacing your foam roller. So we'll get to that later too. But okay. So and then the one that you have is
This is Trigger Point.
Trigger Point.
This is called the Grid. And the Grid actually, it's a lot of people like, what is it for? Actually, the guy who started this, excuse me, I don't remember his name, but he actually was an Ironman triathlete, and that's how I found out about this amazing tool. But so as you can see, it's like almost like a PVC pipe in here.
Solid.
It's pretty solid, and it's surrounded by this really dense foam
With teeth
which you can't
that bite you.
Yes. Actually, the ridges on this, so it's meant to mimic your hand. So this flat part here is like the palm of your hand, and these ridges are like the fingers.
Oh, I see.
And then these right here are like fingertips. So depending on how much you need, you can move and navigate across.
Got it.
Just here. And these do come in different lengths. They come in a shorter length for travel. They come in a much longer length too, depending on how much surface.
Okay, cool. All right, you guys want to talk about how to do this? Yes, you do?
Yeah,
okay.
We're gonna go deep.
Okay, we're gonna go deep. Let's go. Okay, guys, so Luana is gonna show you the difference between kind of full muscle rollouts and then zone rollouts. So traditionally when foam rolling started, people would roll out the entire muscle in one foul swoop, okay? That theory has kind of since then changed, but she's going to show you the traditional way first, and make sure you show them, of course, Luana, where they should start and where they should finish. Okay. All right.
So I'm going to show you the quads first, because in spinning, you tend to become quad dominant, but you want to make sure in foam rolling you start from the ground up. So it's just better because you stretch from the way up rather than moving around. So because one muscle can trigger the next muscle. So to roll your quads, you can either do both at the same time, or I prefer single leg so you can focus on that muscle. So we'll start at the bottom part of your muscle. You want to roll up. So we're going to come down here, just above. You never want to be on the bony part of your muscle. So you want to come into like a forearm plank position, and you're just going to use your elbows kind of support, and then roll yourself to the top of that quad. And you want to stay away from the crease of your pelvic bone, and because there are some nerves there, so you don't want to put too much weight on there for too long. So I recommend 4 to 6 passes here. And this foam roller is actually a great way because the trigger point does go a little bit deeper. So 4 passes, and if you find a spot where it's a little bit more tighter, I like in trigger point they recommend you do a couple
knee bends,
knee bends here.
So you're just staying stationary.
Yep.
So you found a spot that's really sore,
Right.
And you can tell immediately.
Yes.
Right.
So 4 times is a good amount, but if you need a little bit more, you'll know because when you flex, your muscle will feel like it's lengthening, and then the soreness does dissipate. This is on my other leg. So again, we started from the bottom knee. You roll up towards the heart first, and then down a couple passes. And you can also change the weight that you apply on the foam roller to go deeper. So you can lift up here if it's too much for you. You can angle your knee further back to give more support off of the foam roller. So again, you want to make sure whatever you do on the right side, you do on the left side.
And what are they feeling for? I mean, how do you know that you just successfully rolled?
You know.
Oh, you know. I know
No,
you know.
you'll
but
feel.
What are they? What should they expect?
It's going to be painful. Not going to lie, but you don't want to get to the point where you're holding your breath. You want to make sure that you're breathing through it, and that you're not tearing something.
Yes.
So that's really important.
Yeah. So you feel this release, right?
Yes, you do feel a release. It should feel kind of like that hurts so good kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely. Now show us the same thing using the trigger point foam roller, and let's move to calves, because in spinning that's another really tight area. Okay.
So again, on the trigger point, there's different areas. So if you want a little bit more friction, you can kind of come to any of these nodules here, or you can go to the flatter part. So I'm going to start off in the middle. So the calf muscle on the trigger point, you want to do in 2 zones. So you want to start at the top here of where your Achilles kind of, and so that you want the meaty part of the muscle. Okay, you don't want to roll down onto tendon. So you want to divide your calf into 2 sections. So the bottom portion is zone 1, zone 2. So you kind of just want to roll just that little part, bottom part.
So
of the
you're
calf.
only with the length of your leg, you're only going to be rolling about 2 inches for like 1.5 to 2 inches.
Yeah,
for zone 1.
Yeah. So you want to get to that, just the bottom part of your calf, and kind of roll up. Now this is kind of like the beginner part, and if you want to add more.
I am going to vomit just watching her do this, because honestly, if you've never done this before, it is like she was saying, it's a hurt so good feeling. Just be patient, because when that muscle releases, you go from vomit to, oh my gosh, I'm in heaven. Okay, so lifting that leg, she just made it infinitely more painful, but she's also going to get a release quicker, right?
Yeah, so depending on how much or less, but again, there's a lot of knots in the calves. We all have them, so be very careful your first time. Very naughty.
They're very naughty.
And another really important thing on the calves especially, you want to make sure you're not flexing your foot. Okay, relax the muscle, let the trigger point roller do the work for you. Okay, so if you cross here, you can kind of just scoot across the floor. Now some of the more, I guess, people who have more higher pain tolerance, they actually lift the hips up and they go a little bit more deeper.
Yeah, so the higher off the ground your hips are, the more pressure you're putting on that calf.
I'm sweating.
She's sweating. She's going to vomit.
Yes.
Don't you want to do this right now? Grab your foam roller. Let's go.
So with each section, you do a couple passes. Again, no more than 60 to 90 seconds on each section. And then you can do what's called spanning. So you can roll across. So you're just kind of rolling those knots out a little bit further,
really
side to
good.
side. So across the muscle fiber is what you're doing.
I love that.
Yeah.
And you can do that on your soft foam roller as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So after that section's done, then you just move from the middle of the calf up, and you never want to go to the back of the knee.
So avoid the joint.
Avoid the joint. Avoid the bones.
Stay away from joints.
Stay away from joints. Remember, relax your ankle. See, I was already tensing up because I know this hurts. So again, 4 passes, and then you want to do the spanning. Remember, you can do it with or without your leg on top, with or without your hips on the ground. And make sure, if you have some previous injuries and you can get really heavy knots in there, you don't want to force it too much. Just kind of stay light, lift a little bit weight off of that, and just kind of skip over it.
Yeah.
Anytime you have a knot like that, you kind of want to move around the area, because it might be triggering from somewhere else.
That's true. That's
very
true.
true.
It's like when people have
Trigger
lower
point.
back pain, it's typically from their hips, right? So
yeah, or their feet.
Awesome. All right, Luana, well, thank you so much for all this information.
Welcome.
I know I'm going to be using my foam roller more than I do. I definitely don't use it enough, and I'm going to be encouraging my personal training clients to use it more as well.
Yes, absolutely.
We want to make sure you get to the point where you need this, and in order to do that, you need to make sure you're taking the body sculpting fat torching classes that you find on Studio Sweat on Demand.